Okay, good day everybody. Mike here. Let's check out some Canadian resources for hunters, shooters, reloaders, gun collectors. Quickly take a look at some of these things. This is 3 editions. I get these about once every 2 months. They come free as part of my gun club membership. It's called BC Outdoors. And you know what? Some really great articles in all 3 of these ones that I have here, and I'm sure every one that I get. Nothing beats a really nicely done, article on something that you're interested in. Anyway, that's 3 bi-monthly magazines basically. Probably worth, I don't know, $8 or so at a magazine stand, if you could find one nowadays. So that's half my gun club membership right there. Okay, another one here. This is called Calibre Magazine, the Canadian Firearm Magazine, Volume 9, Issue 1. This is a complimentary copy, which is what I usually end up with. They give them away free at many of the gun shops. And I'll try and get some stills thrown in here of some of these info. I guess this is where you could subscribe, and it looks like info at calibremag.ca. www.calibremag.ca/distribution. Daniel Fritter seems to be the kingpin behind the whole thing, which is okay. He does some pretty decent articles. This one, for example. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, or whether you even care, but our advertising laws for firearms are going to change here shortly, depending on who wins the election. And you won't be able to depict a firearm in any way that it's used against a person. Anyway, on a different topic here, this is an article about Swedish Mausers, and it's actually really got some great photos and some really good reading. I'm not sure how much of this is centered, but I'll try and, like I say, throw some stills in here. Anyway, and then some of the more modern stuff that we're still allowed to own. FX9. Some normal ads. Henry AR7. I'm into survival guns, so that's a interesting one. Okay, so Calibre Magazine. Okay, and the last one, which is kind of the remnants of newsprint firearms shopping. I remember the days when shotgun news was a big deal. I mean, it was a gigantic, thick, catalog of online, or not online, but mail order firearm stuff that it was exciting to get. It was really expensive in Canada, but if I remember correctly, it was real cheap in the States. Anyway, our Canadian version looks like $48 a year, once a month. 80 pages. Canadian Access to Firearms, published in the White Horse, Yukon Territory. And if it's the same guy that owned it back in the 80s that I met in person, he was a great guy to deal with. Anyway, it's just pages of, obviously here's a premium ad, one of the gun shops, some corporate type advertising, more gun shops. Cadex Defense, you know. And there's also classified ads, you know, from individuals that have one gun they're looking for or something like that. Here's a section, Ruger stuff. I'll do a more detailed video on just this publication. So there you go, there's some Canadian resources to hunters and shooters and that in Canada. Now there's there's two online sources that I'd also like to mention. One is a Canadian lawyer whose YouTube channel goes by the name of Runkle of The Bailey. Runkle of The Bailey. And his name is Ian Runkle, and he's been doing a great service to the firearms community by publishing videos about Canadian firearms laws and changes and existing court cases on a regular basis. So you know, you can check that out. And then we also have as far as I know, only one single podcast in Canada that's of any consequence, and that's Slam Fire Radio, which is once a week on Thursdays, and it's usually, I guess, an hour or an hour and a half long. They usually talk about where some deals can be had, you know, for purchasing or whatever you're looking for. And then they have a topic of the week, you know, whether it's IPSC or 3-gun or rimfire shooting or something like that. So that's it. We got our hunting magazines, Calibre Magazine, which is kind of national, Canadian Access to Firearms publication, monthly sales and collectors, the lawyer Ian Runkle, and Slam Fire Radio, the podcast. Have a great day, everybody. Mike out.